We have some big and scary news, so make sure you watch this video until the very end. From unexplainable deep space signals, another Bill Gates scandal, and rogue AI, I'm gonna share everything that has been kept out of the spotlight. And I want to kick things off with this crazy asteroid story. We have breaking news, and yes, this is real. Scientists are quietly warning that 3 massive city-killer asteroids could be on a collision course with Earth, and most people have no idea. A new study reveals that asteroids 2020 SB, 524522, and 2020 CL1 orbit near Venus, hidden by the sun's glare, making them nearly invisible to Earth's telescopes. These space rocks are massive, big enough to wipe out entire cities and unleash a blast 1,000,000 times stronger than the Hiroshima bomb. Here's where it gets unsettling. If one were headed our way, we'd only have 2 to 4 weeks notice. Not nearly enough time to launch a deflection mission, which usually takes years. Researchers admit that our best shot at spotting these hidden threats is a dedicated space mission near Venus, but so far there's no sign of urgency from the global powers. So the question is, why aren't we hearing more about this? And if the clock is ticking, are we even prepared? Sometimes the real danger isn't what we know, it's what we're not being told. Now look, NASA failing to detect dangerous space objects isn't new by any means. For instance, I'm sure you remember the meteor that exploded in the atmosphere over Russia. Now that the meteor didn't reach the surface and was about 65 feet or 20 meters in diameter, it still injured hundreds of people.
It's the biggest meteor in more than a century to hit the planet. This one crashed in Russia. 1,000 people were injured from shards of flying glass and debris. Tonight here, we have learned there was no warning.
The asteroids hiding behind Venus are 5 to 20 times larger than that. They will also be at a distance of less than 47,000 miles from Earth. And for reference, the moon is about 238,000 miles from Earth on average. So I'm sure you can see why some scientists are already freaking out about this. Another thing they're freaking out about is mysterious signals coming from deep space. Something 15,000 light years away is sending us signals, and NASA's acting like they don't know what it is. This thing's called ASCAP J1932-0911, and it's shooting out radio waves and X-rays, 2-minute-long bursts, every 44 minutes on the dot. Here's the creepy part. It doesn't match anything we know. It's not a pulsar, it's not a black hole, not a dead star. NASA's best guess? Maybe it's some kind of magnetar, but even they admit they're not sure. And look, whenever NASA says we're looking into it, you know they're hiding something very big. What if this isn't just some weird space rock? What if it's alien tech? Something out there trying to send a message, a beacon, a signal saying, hey, we're here. Scientists have been hunting for techno-signatures, basically signs of alien technology, for years. And now we've got a blinking signal 15,000 light years away that we can't explain. The real question is, what happens if it's not just nature, but someone trying to get our attention? Now, I decided to do some digging here to see if any other such signal has been detected. And from everything I've read, even among mysterious signals, this particular transmission stands alone. What's even crazier is that the source of these signals only started transmitting after 2023, and it was a complete coincidence that we were able to detect both the X-rays and the radio waves coming out of this object. Now, of course, it's damn near impossible to tell what kind of object this might be, but whatever it is unknown to science. And that brings me to yet another insane AI story. I'm sure you've all heard that brands like Victoria's Secret are getting hacked left and right. They're not telling you how bad this really is. Victoria's Secret just shut down its entire US website and some in-store systems after what they're calling a security incident. Translation? likely a massive cyber attack. This follows a string of hits on big UK retailers like M&S and Co-op, where a group called Scattered Spider, reportedly a gang of teenagers, used ransomware to cause hundreds of millions in damage. But here's the part no one's really talking about. Experts are warning that AI-driven hacking is now ramping up cybercrime like never before. These attacks are faster, smarter, and almost impossible to block. If Victoria's Secret, a company pulling $2 billion in online sales last year, can be forced offline, who's next?
Well, it wasn't just Victoria's Secret who got hit. It also just happened to Cartier.
This is some scary and very concerning news. Cartier, one of the most elite jewelry brands in the world, just confirmed a cyber attack that breached customer data. Names, emails, countries, all stolen. They're saying no financial details were taken, but come on, that's not the point. This is just the latest in a wave of attacks targeting major fashion giants. We're talking Victoria's Secret, Dior, Adidas, all hit in 2025. And here's where it gets darker. According to Verizon's Data Breach Investigations report, a full 98% of retail cyber attacks are financially motivated. But why go after fashion? Because these brands don't just sell clothes, they sell lifestyles. They track your preferences, your buying habits, even your status. That kind of data is gold for cyber criminals and for anyone else trying to build a profile on you.
And I didn't just come up with that AI hacking story. If you haven't already heard, AI is now fully capable of learning your passwords by simply hearing the sound of you typing it on the keyboard.
Researchers have just revealed that AI can now guess your passwords with up to 93% accuracy just by listening to the sound of your keyboard. Yes, you heard that right. Not watching your screen, not reading your emails, just listening to how you type. These advanced AI systems analyze the tiny acoustic differences between each keystroke. How the S key clicks slightly different than the D, how fast you move, how hard you press. With just one clean audio sample from a nearby phone, a Zoom call, or even a smart speaker in the room, AI can reconstruct your entire password without ever seeing your hands. And here's the real kicker. Experts say this isn't just a lab experiment anymore. It's real, it's evolving, and it's already being tested in the wild. So here's the question nobody's asking. If AI can break into your accounts just by hearing you type, how long before every sound around you becomes a security threat? Because in this new world, privacy isn't just about what you type, it's about what you sound like.
I'm sure a lot of us remember those old spy films where they could crack the password by using some insane methods. Well, even those films never predicted that you only need to hear someone's typing sounds to guess the password. I mean, just imagine how much damage someone could cause if they got their hands on this kind of AI technology. Forget sixth-generation jets and missiles, we can be attacked by an AI agent and we won't even know what hit us. And in addition to all these threats, AI is now also poised to increase unemployment by as much as 20% in the next 5 years.
Experts say artificial intelligence could wipe out half of all entry-level white-collar jobs in the U.S. over the next 1 to 5 years and push unemployment as high as 20%. That's a massive jump from today's 4.2% unemployment rate. Jobs in tech, finance, law, writing, accounting, and software are all at risk. At the same time, AI is expected to bring huge benefits, faster economic growth, major medical breakthroughs, even curing diseases like cancer. But the downside? Millions of people could be left without work.
So far, the only benefit of this technology hasn't made our lives a whole lot better. It's making people dumber, it's replacing jobs at a record pace, and I don't know about you, but taking prescriptions from AI doctors sounds like a nightmare to me.
This is terrifying news. They just quietly handed AI the keys to your medicine cabinet. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration just unveiled something called ELSA, an artificial intelligence system that now reviews scientific and clinical trial data for them. They say it speeds up the review process by analyzing protocols, detecting adverse events, and summarizing medical data in minutes instead of days. Translation? Machines are now helping decide what drugs get approved, how safe they are, and how fast they hit the market. This isn't a sci-fi movie. This is real, and it just happened. According to the FDA's own June 2025 announcement, ELSA runs on a secure GovCloud platform and is part of their broader push to digitally transform how they regulate medicine. And they're not stopping here. They plan to scale this across more departments, using large language models to analyze more data faster with less human involvement. But here's what no one's asking. What happens when your health is being managed by algorithms trained by the same government that lets pharma companies regulate themselves? What happens when a glitch or prompt engineering error lets a dangerous drug slip through? What happens when AI starts deciding who gets treatment and who doesn't?
Now, moving on, we have another huge story about Bill Gates and his company, Appeal.
This is crazy news. Bill Gates' food coating is now approved on organic produce. Chemical coating designed to make them look fresh longer. But here's where it gets shady. Regulators approved Appeal as a fungicide, not a coating, a technical loophole that slides it under organic certification rules. So while you think you're buying clean, untouched food, you're actually getting produce treated with compounds that critics warn may leave behind residues like arsenic, lead, cadmium, and palladium. Sure, they tell you it's all within FDA limits, but do you really want that on your plate? On X, backlash is exploding. People are calling it a betrayal of the organic label, slamming Bill Gates' involvement, and even reporting rubbery, weird textures on bananas and avocados. Some grocers are already banning Appeal. But here's the bigger question nobody's asking. If the organic label can be quietly compromised, what's next? And how much of what we're eating is already part of a system we never agreed to? Because this isn't just about longer lasting fruit. It's about control over the entire food supply.
To me, it makes absolutely no sense that we have so much deception when it comes to our food. I mean, the organic food is supposed to be chemical-free, and you're coating it with a substance that will not let it rot for weeks. How is that even allowed? But then again, organic products have become one of the biggest scams in today's world.
This is organic chicken from Costco. It's not air chilled, up to 7% water retained from the chilling process. But it's not just water, it's chlorine, which isn't good for you, plus other chemicals that are in the chicken from when they chill it.
I would love to know what you guys think about this asteroid story. Also, if AI is going to make 1 out of every 5 people jobless, how is that good for us? How do you feel about Bill Gates sneaking his Appeal coating onto your food? Will you still be buying organic? Share your thoughts with everyone in the comments down below. I hope you enjoyed today's video and you're gonna love the next one.